The 1-0 pitch, lifted into right field and on the fly out there is actually, that is Joey Shapansky now in right field to make the play for out number 2. So now we're down to the last out for the Eagles of Faulkner. And how interesting is this little scenario? If this holds true for one more out, you realize the noon game tomorrow will be a rematch of last year's championship contest. How about that?
And we knew we were either going to have that or we were going to have the top 2 teams in an elimination game. So
yep.
Either way, an interesting storyline tomorrow.
The pitch is down low for ball 1. Yeah, it just has all the makings for a classic matchup between LC and Faulkner tomorrow at noon. And is it called strike, 1-1 strike. And I guess that's the beauty of World Series double elimination play, is your loser out game tomorrow at noon may be the most interesting game of the day. It'll be the most exciting, that's for sure. 1-1, because whoever wins that one gets to keep playing.
Right.
And the loser is going to be all done. And that's all contingent on this third out being recorded before there's a 5-run rally. And the 2-1 pitch. That's called strike 2. And Vinny Parra looks like a man possessed right now. He just wants to get the third out.
Now, Jay Gaw has danced around trouble all afternoon, and eventually it was his 7th walk that came around to score what right now is the deciding run. Obviously, 4 more runs were tacked on, but can't live on the edge that long and expect to win a ball game.
And the 2-2 pitch is a ground ball into right field for a base hit. So the Eagles are not done just yet. And we'll head back to the top of the order as Luis Sanchez will step up.
It's the second time today that Sanchez has been aboard.
And you're right, that is Sanchez out there at first base. Here's Chris Madera with 1 on and 2 gone. Sanchez with that base hit, by the way, is now 2 for 5 on the afternoon. The pitch from Vinny Parra is on the outside corner for a call strike.
Well, Madera's been aboard 3 times today, a base hit and a couple of walks.
He's been very productive. He's kind of like having a second leadoff guy. The pitch, outside. 1-1 strike. Chris Madera, the junior, hitting .300 on the year with 4 home runs. But right now, down by 5, you just need base runners. That's what you're looking for, even with 2 outs. You got to get a rally started somewhere. The pitch, high and tight, 2-1. The wind is now blowing rather briskly in from right field. The 2-1 pitch. That's called strike 2. And you would think, with a catcher like Garrett Gallacher, he would call for just a straight old fastball down the middle. Go ahead and let the defense play behind you. Yeah. And say, here it is, take a swing. Well, he popped him up. He doesn't have to do it because he did it on a breaking ball, and the third baseman tries to make the play, and it bounces harmlessly into the dirt. He could almost score an error on that.
Yeah, Roberts called off Gallacher near the netting. Rightfully so, as he's coming in on the ball, he's got an easier angle on it, but I think he just got a little bit lost out there, didn't realize where he was and how far he had to go before he reached the fence and the barrier below it, or I should say the netting and the barrier below it.
Garrett Gallacher took off his helmet for the first time, and he's got hair like Sammy Hagar. He's got quite the little head of hair there. And he popped him up again. Can he play it this one? The third baseman's going to get a second chance. This time, he's got it. And that is the ball game. And the Bison come out, the number 1 seeded team in the 2014 Avista NAIA World Series has proven why they are the number 1 ranked team as they score 7 runs on 5 hits and do not commit an error. For the Eagles of Faulkner, they drop into the losers bracket with 2 runs, 7 hits, and 1 error. The Bison's record runs to 55 wins and 7 losses, and for Faulkner, they now drop to 50 wins and 15 losses, and it sets up what we were talking about as the sprinklers come on at Harris Field for no particular reason here at 6:50 in the afternoon or the early evening, and I'm sure that someone is going to try to figure out how to shut those off. They automatically turn on, and if you have not turned the timer off, they kind of do that without warning. So all of a sudden we've got a little shower activity here at Harris Field, but it won't hurt the infield. It's been a little dry. They would have wet it down anyway, so I'm sure everything will be fine as they figure out how to shut them down. But a 7-2 win for Oklahoma Baptist, and it sets up Faulkner and LC tomorrow. Craig, should be a good game.
Yeah, it should be a good one as you have the defending national champion going up against the number 2 seed, and as you mentioned, the rematch of last year's championship game. And for the Faulkner Eagles, again, Jay Gauze just too many free passes when it was all said and done, and then one play that was kind of a non-play that wound up being an actual error charged on the play. Could have been a 4-2 game going to the 9th, and maybe that changes the complexion a little bit, but Faulkner's got to be a little bit concerned. It's an offense that went stagnant after coming up with a 2-run first. They put up zeros over the final 8 frames. I expect them to come back with a little bit more tenacity when they go up against the Warriors tomorrow.
Yep, we'll see how that all pans out tomorrow morning. For Craig Lawson, thanks for joining us. I'm Jay McCall. The final score, Oklahoma Baptist over Faulkner 7-2. More coming up as we continue with our coverage of the 2014 Avista NAIA World Series. Take care, everybody.